Pro fighters show a lot of discipline and respect, whether in the ring or not. But some people mistake this for weakness, thinking they can provoke and disrespect these trained warriors. You will soon see how these professionals remind everyone why they are the real deal. This is what happens when pro fighters fight back. As we get into it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell to be notified about our new fighting stories. Starting with what it means to be a pro fighter. That is the amount of carnage that occurs in the ring, showing how deadly these fighters can be. You, as a sensible person, would probably look at that and be like, hell nah. But not everybody thinks. This guy in the blue, red, and white top is a great example. From his movements, you already know that the guy in white is obviously well trained. So why would you continue this fight knowing fully well you are taking on a pro fighter and you personally aren't trained to fight? That leg kick should have you giving up that fight as soon as possible. So should the Superman punch and the knee-breaking kick that comes next. Unfortunately, this guy didn't quit and ended up getting knocked out. He is so lucky that his opponent is not unhinged and has complete control of himself. This could have ended very badly. Let's start off with Sean Strickland, a highly skilled UFC fighter who rarely loses. Now, imagine an influencer with little or no fighting experience trying to spar with him. Sounds like a death wish, right? Well, that's what this UFC fan signed up for. You can see this guy coming in confidently as if he had already won before the fight even started. Strickland started off easy on him, letting him throw his fist as he intercepted, and he seemed to be enjoying it too. Strickland quickly realized that this guy had almost no fighting experience. Once he did, the guy was in trouble because Strickland wasn't going to go easy on him for long. Immediately, Strickland created an open space for attack. He went all in, punching this guy until he was thrown off balance. The referee had to save this guy from Strickland because who knows what might have happened if he had still continued taking in those hard punches. You can see the influencer bleeding at the end of the fight. Strickland was pretty surprised the guy lasted that long, so he decided to commend him for doing a good job. You don't need a soothsayer to tell you how that match ended. However, this next bully takedown will make you laugh. The guy in blue thinks he can beat a coach who trains pro fighters. He was so confident that he acted like he could predict every move the fighter would make. From the way this guy stands to fight to the way he throws punches, it is very obvious that he has never been in a fighting ring before. He just kept throwing his fists in the air and eventually the pro fighter got tired, and this was when it all got dark pretty quickly. That strike got him so good that he had to lay there for about 3 seconds before he got back on his feet. The fighter punched him in the guts, asking if he wanted to continue. At this point, the man could not get out of the mess he had brought himself into. At this point, the pro fighter was not even making much effort as this guy fell on the floor before he was struck a second time. The coach even let him try throwing punches, but he was so bad that his punches were weak. However, he was pretty good at taking hits. Those grunts were full of pain and suffering. That's one boxing session he won't forget anytime soon. In the end, the coach revealed something surprising. He had hip surgery just 6 weeks ago and was in pain the whole time. A true fighter, no doubt. That was quite a pathetic match, if you ask me. But there are more people who think they can challenge pro fighters, only to be shocked by the outcome of their own mistakes. Just take a look at this soldier who thought it was wise to challenge UFC fighter Carlos Condit because he was skinny. The great UFC fighter Carlos Condit visited soldiers in Afghanistan to teach them some fighting skills. He also saw Afghanistan as a good place to stay in shape because of its hills and to train with the soldiers, as he put it. After one training session, he asked if any soldier was brave enough to fight him. Because of his reputation and fight record, none of them wanted to, but one soldier thought he was tough enough to take on Carlos. The soldier landed a successful hit on Carlos. He must have felt amazing, like he was on top of the world, getting a strike on a pro fighter like Carlos. The soldier felt confident, and the applause from his colleagues probably boosted his morale, so he decided to try his luck again. But he forgot that the pro fighter was more experienced and skilled. Before the soldier could try a second attack, Carlos hit him with a double punch, kicked him in the face, and finished with a punch that knocked him down. The soldier did not see that coming at all, and before he could, he was already on the floor. Carlos encouraged the soldiers by appreciating them soldiers for what they do for their country. Quite an outstanding fighter he is. Some men think they can beat pro-female fighters. While that might be true sometimes, it doesn't apply when the woman is one of the best martial artists in the world. Lazy the Savage is an MMA content creator who decided to challenge legendary MMA fighter and former UFC champion Ronda Rousey. This guy probably thinks that Ronda is like other average women and that there is no way she will ever overpower him as a man. Well, think again, Lazy. Even though she was tired, she still fought him. She lifted him up, slammed him to the ground, and made him tap out in seconds. She pulled him up to fight again. This time, it took him a bit longer to give up, but he eventually did. Lazy was probably ashamed and disappointed in himself. He should have known better. Pro fighters always have more experience and skill. No matter how strong you are, you should never underestimate a pro fighter. These fights prove one thing: underestimating a pro fighter is always a mistake. Whether it's a cocky influencer, an overconfident soldier, or even an experienced content creator, the result is always the same. Skill, training, and discipline will always win over arrogance and brute strength. Pro fighters don't just step into the ring to throw punches. They dedicate their lives to mastering the art of combat. And when someone challenges them thinking they stand a chance, reality hits hard, sometimes literally. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell to receive our new fighting stories.